Hi, welcome back to Open Hand Farm. I'm Penny and I am so glad you are here. If you are new, welcome and come on in, have a seat, and let me tell you what I've been up to. About a year ago, we kind of changed our laundry room into a room that houses our appliances now and has extra workspace and an area to store things like oils and pans and bowls and stuff like that. But when I put that room together, I wasn't really sure how it was going to totally function when I was trying to cook or bake or whatever. And after a year of use, I've decided that it needs to be tweaked. There are things in there that don't need to be in there, and there are things in our pantry that need to be in there. Today, I'm going to move things around, try to make the Creamery a much better place to function because it has more of what we need there. So let me show you what we have to do when we're cooking at this point. Okay, so obviously this is our kitchen. Over here with the screen door, that's our pantry. Then back there, inside that door, is what we call our creamery. Now, the problem is that we will be cooking in the kitchen, then we need an item from the pantry, then we need an item from the creamery, then we need another item from the pantry, then we're back in the kitchen. Not that I couldn't use the extra steps. So I think you see what my dilemma is now. I'm going to walk through the creamery and I'm just going to look at things. And I'm going to say, have I used that recently? Have I used that? No, take them out. Then find a new home for them, perhaps in the pantry. And then things in the pantry, I'll say, how often do I use that? Quite often, and move it to the creamery. So it's kind of a juggling act today. I hope it makes cooking much easier for both Kaylee and me. At this point, I am just trying to move things to a place that they might store better, making sure things are close at hand that we're going to need. I brought some things in out of the pantry to fit in here that are all the baking supplies. I'm trying to store things in baskets since these are such big open areas on this shelf, so we could pull the basket out and get what we need instead of having to move things on the shelf to get to things. I hate doing that. If I have something available, I want it available. I don't want to have to dig or move things to find it. I have a lot of instruction booklets that I'm going through. Now in the pantry, we had this shelf that was full of seasonings and herbs and things that we would use. So I brought them in. I bought some new snap-on silicone seal lids to put on the jars that I put those herbs in. I'm going to use these labels to label the jar so that we know what things are and be able to get to them easily. So I'm just rejarring, replacing the lids so that they're much easier to get into. Sometimes when you're cooking, you have a dirty hand or you just want to very quickly get something, and these lids are much nicer for that. I had partial jars of some herbs, so I'm adding those together. I am running out of the lids, so I'm having to move from wide mouth to regular mouth jars so that I have a lid to go on it. I have herbs in some of these jars and I have teas in some of these. I've been using a lot of teas. So this is the finished project. These are the herbs that we use that I have gotten from the garden and dehydrated. And these are the tea items that we use. Now it's time to put all of those up on a shelf. I have these plastic containers that still have some spices in them that we bought from the Amish store, but I do have more lids ordered so that I can jar them up as well. This top shelf is kind of hard to reach, so what I'm gonna do, I have some gallon pickle jars that use odds and ends of pickle lids. I'm putting those in the very back, and I'm putting the jars that I have lids for in the front so I can get to them easily. This is another area that bothers me. It's there by my sink, and it just has a lot of apothecary type things. I bought this 3-tiered shelf so that I could add it to one of the shelves in the Creamery to have a little area that is for apothecary type things. So this is the finished product. This room holds so much. Like, it's got my little vacuum, it's got our dirty clothes basket, it has just so many things. It's amazing what is in this little room. But it's still very functional. There's all of my oils and baking things. Now we don't have to go into the pantry to get some and in here to get some. I have some more herbs and oats and einkorn flour, stuff like that up there on the top. And this is the shelves with our herbs on it. And I love the fact that I have room now for my air fryer that we got as a gift for Christmas, and I don't have to move it in and out of anywhere to use it. It's plugged in and ready to go. Here are the herbs and the teas. I know where to go for those. Sugars and my little apothecary area. This will be revamped. I just stuck everything I had right there, and I'm making new tinctures and things that I want to have on that, so I will upgrade that soon. Then on the top, mostly jars. And then in front of my sink, much better. And I went and cut fresh rosemary to dry out in my gallon jar. And here's just kind of a full view of this very active room. Whew, that was a lot of work. But I am so happy with the results. Thank you so much for coming along and being with me, because I gotta tell you, I like to have people come along when I'm working. I won't make them work, but I like to talk to them. So you now have an opportunity to talk to me. So be sure and put in the comments anything that you would do differently, or if you have an idea that might make the Creamery and the Pantry even more workable for when we're cooking. I also am very glad that we found a home for the air fryer that we got for Christmas. I didn't want it to be one of those items that we put on a shelf and only take out and use and then put away and take out. I don't like doing that. That's why we have this cabinet here, so that we can leave the toaster out and the mixer out and the food processor out. I like being able to just walk in and do a job and clean it up and walk away. Thank you so much again for watching. If you have already subscribed to my channel and you're a frequent visitor, thank you so much. And thank you for coming back. Be sure and push that bell, and then you will get the first notifications when I have a new video up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I would love to see all of you again very soon. So until then, Blessings on you and yours.